Hello, and today we are going to be playing Bad End Theater. I like this music. It's really nice. I like it a lot, actually. Strong language. We'll just have to blur that one out. Bad End Theater, I remember seeing, I think Markiplier playing it, and I got obsessed with it, but I couldn't actually play it. And I've kind of forgotten everything about the game, but I remembered the game, so we're going to be playing it today. I'm so excited to be playing it today. That's the one thing I remember. This soundtrack is great. But in this stage, welcome to Bad End Theater. On this stage, we will be toying with fate. You'll make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths. That sounds fun. All in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. I am getting excited! But first, allow me to explain how it works. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you like. Human or demon? Demon. You show the demon doll. You are a fierce-looking guy just minding your own business. Yes. How do you interact with the human doll? Nice. Try to make friends with the human, but it calls you and kill blood? That's not how that worked. It's fine. That guy's just mean. Okay, human doll. You're a friendly little guy. Play nice. Yay! That's so fun. Blah, 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 blah. This is probably something Okay, they're gonna be nice. Wait, no. They're gonna fight. Attack it. Yay! End of the tutorial. I'm done. Do you understand how to play? Yes, I understand. Yes. This game saves your progress, blah, 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 blah. Oh, she's pretty. Oh, these are so pretty. I feel like, okay, wait. This guy looks scrappy, so. You are a demon underling in service of the overworld. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard a castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're going crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the overlord for a day off. She gives you an ale for about responsibility and questioning obedience. Wait for her to finish the lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her boss of everyone? You complain about the overlord to your friends. They agree that she's kind of a snob and totally deserves to be kicked off of her throne. You only want to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot? You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. Let's not overthrow her! You tell your friends that you are totally not serious about this whole thing. You're actually cool with the status quo. After all, this life must be pretty good if the only thing you have to complain about is that you live so comfortably and there's nothing to do. The others nod, but don't seem convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be more effort than it's worth. I think my screen is flashing on my recording. It's fine. But you're still gonna be a rebel and sneak out of the castle. Friends will praise your mischievous ways. The change in atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. Oh, she is pretty. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. You consider your options. I don't think we should eat her. She's so pretty. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she's starting to talk to you like your friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak in the same language, of course, which has always confused you. Because why is there conveniently one language in the world? If demons and humans had independent societies, wouldn't it make sense for them to each have their own language? The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the overlord. The overlord asks where you found the maiden, knowing full well you left the castle when you weren't supposed to. You apologize for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present that you may be forgiven. The Overlord nods and says she's cool as long as you always listen to her from now on. You're impressed by what an easygoing bash she is. You mention how you can't believe you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. She gives you a look and says, that, and you say, that was just a joke, of course.
Oh, I'm bad at reading.
She smiles and dismisses you. You decide it's about time for a nap. Oh, she looks so cute. I like her. And then the sleepy time, bro. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that Hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates? What a jerk! Avenge! What does this guy think he's seen coming here and killing everyone like some maniac? What did we ever do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy drawing his sword in guard, who sometimes brought you food whenever they noticed you were feeling kind of down. You liked that guard. You wished with all your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing flesh from bone. It tastes like iron. The hero struggles. You feel his sword go through you, but there's no pain, only retribution. You and your comrades pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero is overtaken. Your army has won. Whee! You have earned your rest. Oh, well, I think that was a pretty good ending. So, we already did I want to play the maiden now. She looks so pretty. You're a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overworld castle. You are told that you are fated to be captured by the overworld day because you're a beautiful young girl. Demon overlords apparently love capturing those. You think of how you haven't heard of any. You think of how you haven't heard of that. Oh, that was a bird. Okay. I haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone. But maybe the demon just hasn't been given the opportunity? Who knows? You are in a church. You pray to your god, asking why you haven't been born into this role of maiden. You respect your divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You are impatient. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you'd understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note and venture forth to find the demon, just to, see what happens. Not long into your little venture, a demon underling appears before you. He looks pretty scary. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them that you were thinking that maybe you could understand the role better if you were hurrying up getting taken by a demon already. The demon doesn't really seem to have been listening to you, which is a little irritating. They agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk of the castle, you are introduced to the overlord. She lectures the underling that brought you here, who is apparently told not to leave their post. You wonder what a cool punishment awaits them. But to your surprise, she lets them off easy. The underling is dismissed. And the overlord turns to you, looking very interested. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. As it turns out, she never actually had any plans to capture maidens or do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out, and that something awful would happen. Then a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe that you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the overlord what you should do to become more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This overlord seems more like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on talking with her more. The overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude. You just got here. No. You put your foot down and tell her you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny, even if you have to make it happen on your own. She's a little frustrated at your stubbornness, but she doesn't kick you out or anything. Hooray! The overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little you realize they might not be the roots of the monsters you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk getting the humans any excuse to send a hero after them. You realize that must be why you'd never heard of any demons attacking our town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says that you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising here. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans. You may be different, but they're just trying to live their lives the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I've said was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place would be far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time, to feel free. Honestly, you always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. Yuri! But then a hero barges into the room. His clothes are stained by a dark liquid. It's dripping from his weapon, too. You realize it must be demon blood. Something horrible has happened. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The Overlord has walked past the hero out into the hall. She's wailing. You can only guess what kind of horrible scene he's left for her. The Overlord tears the hero apart in reality. You watch silently, unable to scream. The Overlord, who you had just been getting along with so well, killed another human right in front of you. It's clear now that you were deceived by her sweet words. Demons are ruthless creatures after all. You somehow managed to slip past the Overworld and make it out of the blood-soaked castle. You never look back. Oh my god. I mean, it's a good ending for the maiden, I guess. Oh, okay. So you had these two. Maybe we're gonna do this one. Maybe there's an option that you just don't leave the village. You're the hero. You like to think yourself as a pretty relatable and swell guy. Okay, a little cocky here. Okay. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You're told the maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon Overlord castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. This looks very like, RPG. But demon soldiers black cat. You could kill them to gain experience. I feel these are not good options. I mean, we'll get through. You make quick work of the wild creatures who stood in your way. Feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you make it to the castle front gates. You're faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. Oh, let's just ask them. You attempt to explain why you've come, but with the monster before you eyeing you with suspicion. They can't help but notice the demon blood from earlier. You haven't had the chance to wash it off yet. Whoops! You have no choice but to— What? That's not what I said! You have no choice but to fight the army in self-defense. Oh well, more experience points for you. You make your way through the castle, fighting off the demons that stand in your way. You make it to the Overlord's chamber and hope you're still in time to save the maiden. You find the maiden being held captive by the Overlord, just as you suspected. But for some reason, you can't sense anything sinister happening. You all look at each other in surprising confusion. This is no time to hesitate. I feel like we should be a little more... Well, we're gonna get the same ending if we do this. You lunge forward, driving your blade through the evil Overlord. She screams, then falls silent. The Overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. She takes it after a slight hesitation. She must be surprised at how strong she are. No! You escort the maiden home. She's oddly quiet on the trek back to the village. She must be too shy to speak. Bro, cocky much? Confident? Not confident. The villagers are pleased with what a good job you've done, slaying the Overlord and saving a hostage. They throw a huge celebration in your name. You are remembered for generations as the greatest hero the village has ever seen. Oh, I don't like that one at all, actually. I don't Okay, let's go with the last one. Oh, right, okay. I think the polite thing to do. We'll just play this one. Oh, I like her a lot. You're the demon overlord. You live in the same castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called hero whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off humans and hope they'll leave you alone and leave your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole overlord thing, if you're being quite honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it, but you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best fulfilling their roles. You wouldn't let them bait you into being an evil overworld they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to a higher standard like that. One of your underlings walk into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They say something about how it's boring to stand in one place, guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? Grant them the day off. We're just gonna be a nice break. You tell them to take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. I thank you, happily scurrying off to do who knows what. You've nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a while. Being the overlord surely is great. You wake a knock at the door. The underling earlier has brought back some company. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say that she's been thinking and getting very impatient, thinking about her impending capture, so she's come to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her that you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. I just realized how insane she sounds. Okay, this recording's gonna be so broken. It's so glitchy. I think maybe, I hope it's gonna be fine. Oh, hey, it's fine. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. You think that this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she should stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks in your eyes, the first time the humans has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. I think she should actually be home. You'd love to have all the conversations in the world with her, with your new friend, but having a human girl here would definitely cause trouble. You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost, but the maiden turns out to be very stubborn. You don't want to hurt her, but you also don't really want her to leave in case something bad happens. This whole situation is just asking for trouble, you think. Against your better judgment, you let her hang out for a little while. Okay. You enjoy having a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not all what she expects them to be. You are glad that she seems to have an open-minded about these kind of things. You bring up how you've always instructed your army to avoid humans, to not agitate them and get heroes sent after you. That explains why people in my village have always been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We are very grateful. You're surprised to hear her thank you. You've always thought humans to be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed, despite your efforts to leave them alone. Oh, I just dropped something. But this maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time and you're actually super evil all along. The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people in her village are exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. You notice the sounds of ballads start to ring through your castle halls. The maiden is getting nervous, but you reassure her it's only your underling's roughhousing, no big deal. You know it's probably here, but you don't want to upset the maiden by telling her that your army will take care of it. It isn't long before the hero bursts into your room. But he shouldn't have made it here. Why didn't they stop him? The hero just stands there, unsure of himself. He's covered in demon blood. As the maiden speaks to him, trying to explain the situation, you move past the hero and out the door. You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn about your castle is really taking it out of you. That hero did this? There's so much blood. Why? Why did he come for the maiden? Why did he think she needed rescuing? There was no one for this hero to save here. There was never any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why has it turned out like this? The hero starts babbling insincere apologies and excuses, realizing his wrongdoings, but you are beyond hearing any kind of that. You have had it with these humans, with murdering your servants for no reason. You can no longer hold yourself back, and lash out at the hero. When you regain control, there's nothing left of the hero. The maiden has fled in terror. You are all alone. Oh, okay. Okay. So we played everyone. I don't think this one really changes much, but we'll do the maiden again. But alright, we're back here. Blah blah blah. As you think that a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first, until you realize he must have been sent here to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks what's going on. He has no blood on him this time, so you explain the situation, assuring him that you were never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. You apologize for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez. And the hero asks if you'll return to the village with him to give everyone the news of your safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave and gives you a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon. You're about halfway to the village when you feel something is off. Unable to shake your concern, you look back over your shoulder, stopping your tracks. The castle is engulfed in flames? Is the Overlord alright? You can't have her return to the village like this. They have to know. You have to know. You have to make sure everyone is safe. You've always taken off before the hero even can think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room. The door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fist against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you've forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. You start to cough. The smoke is too thick. You can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now. You desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself. But the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke. A maiden saving the Overlord. If you just stay true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. I didn't like that one! I really didn't like that one! I didn't like that one at all! It was... My god! Oh shit, I think she has to be antisocial. We're gonna be polite every time. Ah! Alrighty! Okay. So we're back to the point where she says you have to leave. Okay, we'll just go home. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks you what you're doing. You don't know the Overlord Castle is like right there. You explain everything that happened. The hero seems to think you're lying to him and has asked if you've been brainwashed by demons. What nerve! You were very upset this so-called hero would treat you this way, and leave in a huff. You return to the village alone. Everyone was very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions, and you tell them your story. As you explain the Overworld never had any intention to harm anyone, you notice looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You're loudly interrupted by an older man. He rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand. You only told them the truth. Why do they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what must have actually happened. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have been returned with the aid of a hero, they ask. You could not have possibly escaped the Overlord on your own without harm. You must be conspiring with demons to trick everyone into believing that they're horrible creatures we know them to be, they say. Have the people of your village always been this blinded by fears and hatred of things they never cared to know? You wonder how you missed that before. You are seized by the crowd, and voices from all sides are calling for a public execution. You're to be burned at stake? You don't want to die? I don't want you to die either! You wonder, would it have been like this better to hide the truth? You don't like the thought of that. You've always lived honestly, so why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dismaying voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. You can only watch as you burn, and you can only cry for them. You are so, so sorry. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, let's do that one again, but from the hero's perspective. We're just gonna skip. We're gonna flee like a coward, threatening your pride to escape with your life. But you can't return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. You'll take your chances at the castle. You're here after all. This is your job. On your way back to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back toward the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know that the Overlord castle is like right there? It's dangerous. The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. I believe her. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you, even though her story is kind of hard to believe. You feel you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to village. They had all been so worried. They praise you for your bravery. The maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look at you for explanation. You politely inform them it isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explained that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you in disbelief. Aren't they being subtle about how little they trust this maiden's story? You totally believe her, but to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hustled whispers. You're too busy thinking about what great reliable hero you are to hear anything they're saying. The town elder breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet the Overlord immediately, says they'll keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood's kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure of what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. You thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her down and her demon friends down already. That doesn't sound like a very heroic task. You can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and talk to these demons to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden towards the Overlord's castle. The air becomes dark and thick, and you enter into this deep demon territory. Evil miasma? No. You realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she stopped in her tracks. The Overlord's castle engulfed in flames. You'd only taken the eye for the maiden for a second, but she's already disappeared. You get close to the castle, but the smoke is too thick now. You think of turning back. The maiden might need your help, but you can barely see. She could be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Was this a trap? Would it be worth risking your life on that chance? Your legs feel heavy. No. Going in there would be suicide. You return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Oh my god! Oh, well, we gained a new trait. We haven't actually played as the I haven't been very interested in the underling. What the hell does this guy do? I feel like we haven't actually done the hungry trait, but I don't want to do that. That seems mean. It seems mean. I don't want to do that. I mean, I'll just hear out. Yeah, you're in a good mood today, and rather curious about what the maiden has to say. This is like the same one. Is this gonna be just like this? You don't sleep for long and your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what their deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out, and being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead?" Friends question your loyalty to their cause. Oh. They're gonna kill us if we say no? Well, nothing would really change. This will probably change some stuff. Tell them you're just joking, clarify that you're totally in it to win it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it'd be to end up on the wrong side of things. And this assassination deal doesn't plan out well. You can always pretend that you're innocent all along. But beneath your shield of faux confidence, you're worried about what you're getting dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea of how they want to go about this. As they figured they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. It could go wrong in so many ways. You as your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on, and while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it'd probably be the wrong way to go. You and your friends agree, and suggest that you could play the assassin. You didn't want to come down to this. But you're gonna turn back now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. You and your friends turn to notice the maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. It'd be bad for you if the Overlord found out about this. So... I mean, I don't want to kill her, so we'll just toss her in there. You and your friends seize the maiden and bring her down to the dungeon under the castle. It's empty, save for decorative skulls, but they're only there to make it feel more spooky. The maiden's very upset. You leave her in the cell to continue scheming with your friends. Now a hero has arrived at the front gates. He's asking about a maiden, perhaps the very one you just locked up. The gatekeeper, who must have seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. What an idiot, you think? Why give a hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? The hero yells, "Prepare to face justice!" and other such cliche hero lines, before driving his sword into the gatekeeper's torso. You're small compared to a lot of your friends, so you're able to slip away without getting cut up by that sword. You get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might actually work out in your favor. You wait for things to die down outside before poking your head out. You spot the Overlord and the hero locked in battle. They've worn each other down, making this very easy for you. Once an opening presents itself, you hit the back of the hero's head, knocking him out. What are you doing? Couldn't you tell this was a duel? You don't respond. You have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her, rip her to shreds with your claws until she stops moving. You finish up the hero next. You can't let him revive after you come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but it doesn't make any difference. Anyone who managed to survive comes crawling out of their hiding places. You're the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they one day will betray you, as you had betrayed your Overlord. Oh. So, what happened to the maiden? Hold on. What happened to the maiden in that one? The hero claims that he believes your story, but volunteers to go talk to the demons himself, just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You hear words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. You're pretty shocked that everyone is this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. An old man implores the hero to go speak with the Overlord immediately. He says that you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because, of course, if you were conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let their guard down. The whole village would be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed in a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overworld Lord, not by your fellow countrymen. Well, this one clearly leads to death. Boldly announce that you'll be accompanying the hero to prove yourself, rather than risk what's out there instead of staying in the village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take him off before anyone stops you. Near the castle entrance, you spot a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. This one's really weird. Oh, they're like all the colors are congregating. Oh, this looks important. But the hero shakes his head, saying that if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think? What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? The demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off to the castle, and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst in the Overlord's room, your words all spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised that they are part of this evil plot. They seem so nice. The other demons come right in after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone is shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You're really relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think this is very Overlord-like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this. Oh! I'm thinking that you must have jinxed it because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only I'd ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. If you had just pretended not to hear them, if you'd left them as you were told, only the Overworld Lord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for a path where everyone survives. It must exist. It must simply exist. The Overlord seizes her underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord's claws pierce into the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. But there's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are consumed by flames. Oh. So I'm realizing I'm a little, getting a little sad here. We're gonna find all the bad endings. Okay. Slays demons, slaughters. So we need him to be hungry. So I think that hungry. Dutiful. So I guess we play as a hero in this one. After a long trek, you make to the castle's front gates. There's no sneak past these monsters you each. Overlord. Cut through the demon army! These are all evil demons anyways. The world's much safer with them gone. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your way to the Overlord's chambers. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing, murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask where the maiden is. She feigns ignorance, a convincing act, but you won't be fooled. The maiden isn't here. What happened to her? You can only see one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about the poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You become strong from the hordes of demons you took down for this battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you. You cut her to pieces. The Overlord has fallen. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within its walls. As you suspected, she must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world, but what does it matter if you are too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the Overlord's chambers, wrap her head in your cape, and bring it back to the village. Surely your great story should be victory. I think my thing's gonna be very broken when I edit it, but it's fine, because whatever, you know? Whoop-de-doo, yike, okay, whoa. Wait, this one is same path, finds the maiden Overlord. He apologizes. Always put polite on there, it's nice. Skip. Slay. Skip. Slay. Skip. Ask what's going on. She explains that she came here on her own and was never in any danger. Then she hesitantly asks why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The Overlord moves past you and out the door. She sees her army in lifeless, bloody pieces. She's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero. Apollo, this is all just a big... You'll hope that she'll let this whole thing slide if you could just explain yourself. You really try, but the Overlord is inconsolable. She tears you apart, and the maiden watches in silence. As you die, you couldn't help but think you probably deserve this. Tragic hero. Oh. Okay. These endings are fun. I do like tragedy still. But tries to kill. So wait, we have that set, but this time we're gonna just play her. Polite. Alright, the same one. Alright. The hero suddenly dashes forward towards the Overlord, sword drawn. Martyr. You selflessly throw yourself in front of the hero's blade, acting as a shield. It's funny, I think. You could never imagine this would be the way that you die. The roles are all switched around, but it feels right to you somehow. You are glad your destiny turned out to be saving someone rather than being saved yourself. As your vision fades, you hope that everything turns out alright for your new friend. Sacrificial maiden end. Oh. They're so gay for each other! Why is my Yuri doomed, bro? Why is my Yuri doomed? It's not fair. I need to go eat an orange. Oh my god, my room is incredibly dark. I got me my oranges. Alright, we're gonna do the same thing again, but from the hero perspective. You're the hero. You like to think of yourself. Oh, I'm reading this again. Hold on. Slaughter. You know the drill. Okay. Then heroic. Lunge forward to put an end to the evil Overlord. But your blade pierces the maiden instead. She has sacrificed herself to protect this demon. It takes you a moment to recover from the shock. The Overlord wails. Why did you do that? You're not sure if the question is directed at you. The Overlord strikes you in a vengeful rage. You parry, and she is slain. Your sword feels heavy. You look at your hands, your clothes, blood, so much blood. You look at the fallen maiden, wondering what to tell the townspeople. Why would she protect the Overlord? She must have been brainwashed by demonic magic. You pick up the Overlord's head, wrapping it in your cape, and begin your long journey back to town. You will say that you were too late, and nothing could be done for the girl. But the Overlord is slain. There will be celebration. Oh. Good thing I grabbed 2 oranges, bro. Let's return everything off. Except for polite. We always keep polite on. In this house, we always stay politeful. Antisocial, dutiful, obedient. Oh, there's orange juice all over my arm right now. I make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. On your way home, on your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back towards the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity, and she runs from you for some reason. You wonder what that's all about, then you remember you're covered in demon blood. Not wanting to look like a crazy person chasing after her or anything, you nonchalantly walk back to town. As you walk back to the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? As she's bound to a wooden stake, the crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly by as the flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can escape the sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Oh, something's missing, and I don't know what it is. Okay, flees, obedient, resolute, disloyal. Blah blah blah. Flee. Blah blah blah. Trust her. Blah blah blah. As you stand there not sure what to do, the maiden announces she's going to prove their story to the village. She grabs you along with her. She has much better odds with you around, so you don't object. Adventure awaits. When you reach the castle, you spy a group of suspicious demons hanging around near the entrance, and you can't help but overhear their conversation. They're talking about assassinating their overlord? This proves to you that the demons really are foul creatures. Hey, it's the same thing where the colors are being changed. We have to tell her about this. Except there's no blue. Or purple, I guess. You don't really understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And those same creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off to the castle. You have no choice but to follow. She bursts into the Overlord's room, with the maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by a group from the entrance, who shifts the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise, until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip her sword tightly. You have to cut through everyone to get this maiden to safety. You certainly will. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the widow behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole world's in flames. The room's in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join in, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling, crying for its mercy. She stuffs the claws in her underling's chest, and it lets out a horrible scream. You back away. You won't be the next target of her rage. She continues to dig into its claws into its limp body. You can no longer watch. You look at the maiden. She's crying, hands clasped together in prayer. To have faith in a time like this, you envy her. The two of you, the Overlord, and the underling's corpse are all consumed by flames. Oh no. I think all of them have this kind of ending. Should we just try all of them? I want to get more of them though. I will do one at a time. Oh wait, yeah, okay. She shouldn't be resolute. Okay. Again! Flee. Trusting. When you reach the gates, you ask if the demons have seen the maiden. They have. They inform you she's being held in the dungeon at the moment. She trusts them, and in return, they lock her up. So demons truly are evil beings after all. You demand they take her. They take you to her, but they do not let you pass. You should have expected as much from these unreasonable creatures. You notice how they change in different perspectives? Like, in his perspective, they're mostly just like these guys, you know? There's actual character in other perspectives. You know what you must do. You thrust your blade through the demons before you and rush into the castle alone. You're the only one who can save the maiden now. What the are you doing, killing all my soldiers? The Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her and all of demonkind. He looks kind of cute in this photo. Or it looks like a little chibi, you know? You clash again and again, but the Overlord isn't going down easy. You're both dangerously low in health when everything goes black. Your quest has come to an abrupt end. Unlucky. Alright, we've gotten everything we really can for him. Well, this one mystery trait. I don't know what that is. Is it? I don't know what it is. We're gonna do the maiden this time, though. Maiden. Okay. Okay, so this one's pretty simple. It's just hungry. This one's pretty simple. He's just hungry. Oh. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting. A lot. How painful. The plan of yours was completely stupid, you think. Why couldn't you have just been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything, of course. This was all your fault for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Bit by bit, you are swallowed by the demon until you are no more. Oh, I don't like that one at all. But it was a pretty simple ending. Got actually a lot for her. Hold on, wait. This is a long chain of events. Antisocial, obedient, trusting. Antisocial, obedient, trusting, and then disloyal. I hope I didn't mess anything up this time. Blah blah blah. Maiden. We're polite in this house. Obey her. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figured so. Oh, I don't. Leave on your own. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons stands just outside the entrance. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them. That enemy recognizes you from before. You recognize from before is the first one to do something about it. This is just the way it has to be. They suddenly attack you. At that moment, you regret having ever trusted the demons. You die instantly. Oh, well, it was a quick death. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. We're polite in this house. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, they immediately notice you overheard them and decide to lock you in the dungeon before you can cause any trouble. You cry out, but the demons ignore your protests. You can't believe you escaped possibly being thrown in a cell back your village only to be tossed into this awful place. This is terrible. Who's going to keep those demons from harming the Overlord? You hope she can fend for herself. You sure can't. You hear the sounds of battle echoing through the halls outside. Did the hero follow you? If he's out there, your cries don't reach him. After a while, the violence seems to die down. It's impossible to tell what happened. You continue to wait, but no one comes for you. Unable to escape, you rot in that cell. It's like the same kind of story, but she's just doesn't throw herself in front of it. We're still polite in this house. We don't leave. And then do nothing. The hero's blade pierces the Overlord, and she lets out a horrible scream. You flinch. The Overlord is slain. The hero smiles and holds out your hand to you, saying it's time to go home. His glove is drenched in blood. Hesitantly, you take his hand. The hero guides you through the castle, past the corpse of his enemies. You try to keep your eyes at your feet. There's blood everywhere. You shut your eyes, but even then you can't escape the smell. All of this was because of you, wasn't it? You exit the castle, the hero leads you back to the village. Everyone celebrates the hero's great triumph over the demons, but you feel sick. But regardless, you take part in the festivities. Oh. It's very passive in this one, and I don't like that. Blah, blah, blah. We're disloyal in this one. No! You're sick of this overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree that it's time for a change of management. You and your friends suggest that maybe you should be the new overlord. You like the sound of that. You announce yourself the first act of rebellion is to take that day off like you always wanted. Your friends aren't very impressed. You assure them you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. You sneak out of the castle to have some fun. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path nearby to the human village, you encounter a maiden. She greets you and says she has a favor to ask. So you consider your options. We're hungry in this one.
Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure,
Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought, and feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see, oh man, only if someone could have been watching. Time to go find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. The people are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet. Let's be theatrical today. You attack the nearest human. He's old and weak. His bones crunch delightfully. Your audience screams louder. Applause. You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking the villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running towards you. He takes you out in one swift blow. You're just a demon underling after all. As you die, you think, that was totally worth it. The curtain closes. Hey, we're gonna do that again, but, just gonna go home today. You figure if people are this upset at just the sights of you, they wouldn't fully appreciate any terrible acts you commit. Also, they might fight back. That probably wouldn't end well. You're just one little underling after all. This day has been eloquently refreshing. You return to your castle, thinking you'll take a nap. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. They're very eager to talk to you about the whole kill the overlord plan. You admit you haven't given it much thought and only now remembered it was a thing. Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. No, she's not all that. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you, but before you could think to ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? Their claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered. You already know how things like this end. This is a pretty messed up thing to do with a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. The betrayal, bro! They didn't even, say, well, betrayal's honestly one of the worst things you could do to someone. That's cold, brother. That's cold and sad. Makes me sad. The same path, but he is beautiful this time. La 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 la. Is he disloyal in this one? I forget. Yes, he does need to be disloyal. Blah blah blah. Let's overthrow her. Blah blah blah. Let's kill her. Blah blah blah. Go home. Blah blah blah. Save yourself. You look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known for as far back as you can remember. You feel glad not to be in their shoes. As you As you feel guilty thinking about that as you flee the castle, until you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing is expected of you. Maybe you'll start a new life, away from any humans or demons, where you'll live peacefully, alone, in some deep, dark forest somewhere. Oh! Okay, we're gonna go to her this time. Okay, wait, I think that's it, right? She doesn't have to be antisocial, so. I forget how much I really like her vibe. Tyrant! You give them a lecture about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. Your servants ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. They look really unhappy with you, but you're sure they'll thank you for this later. Venturing too far from this castle tends to spell death. You dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice and comfy overlord bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. You fall asleep pretty quick. Just another one of your amazing talents, says the overlord. God, holy cocky, bro. You wait to a large commotion outside. The hero has shown up and started murdering your soldiers? What the hell, guy? You rush out to the battlefield and confront this jerkwad. You curse at him very rudely inquire his reasons for doing all this. He yells at you, demanding you return the maiden you're holding capture. You don't know what he's talking about, but you can't forgive his actions. You do battle with the hero, but he has grown strong from cutting down your army. You are unable to defeat him. With decisive swings, he stabs and cuts you to pieces. You fall. You have failed your subjects. You spit curses weakly. You wish you'd been stronger. Maybe you were never suited to be the overlord in the first place. The truth was, you were never that much more powerful than the demons who served you. It was the title, the control that gave you strength. These are your thoughts as you were swallowed by darkness. Yes, disloyal. Okay. You thought you told that anyone to do their job, not drug strangers in your room. Looks like they took an unauthorized break away from the castle. I scold them, but ultimately you're a little interested in this guest, so you let them off easy. That underling is not so bad. It's a maiden from a nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden, blah blah blah. Antisocial. You'd love to have all the conversation in the world with your new friend, but having a human girl here would definitely cause trouble. The maiden does what she's told and takes her leave. As you figure, you may as well go back to bed now. But you don't get to rest for very long. The maiden suddenly bursts into your room, accompanied by a hero. She's trying frantically to communicate something, but you're still half asleep. She tells you that it's a group of demons after your life. You still don't grasp the urgency of the situation. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that all humans are liars, followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was the first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep all of you in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very overlord-like. You aren't very sure if you still have the strength to back it up, though. Lately, all you do is sleep. The group of demons start muttering something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly slam your door shut. You, the maiden and the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds at the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die, burned alive in your own room by those who you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. I noticed the maiden was crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. And you wonder if you're cursed as well. Still filled with anger and frustration, you don't even notice you've grabbed the underling those traitors blamed everything on. They cry for mercy, saying they're dragged in this plot knowing they'd be killed if they took their side. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. You really said anything, killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You'll all burn together. Before you're taken back to reset the story once more again, you pause for a moment. True ending, you say to yourself. What was the point of all my effort if the true ending is just this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is the bad end theater. Whoa, Cabro! Is the pain settling in? But but you should have entered well aware of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I see quite often. At some point, you grew attached to my little cast. You started relating to their flaws, their plights. You started wishing for their happiness. But you aren't gonna find that here in my theater. My lovely crafted labyrinth of suffering. That was tongue twister, bro. Anyways, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, dear guest. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do that again, but we're not gonna be merciful this time, actually. I just want to kill the guy. Take retribution. You pierce their chest with your claws. They scream. The hero backs away. He's wise not to intervene. They've stopped moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. The unknown's corpse burns with you and the two humans. Okay. Okay. Tyrant and antisocial. Okay, that's it. Get back to work. Back to work! You're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time, it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone actually read the note I left behind? After everything is explained, the hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hasn't led to any horrible consequences. Maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart, but you're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. This one leads to death, but it's a new trait, whatever. The maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. Wait, you girly pup, you just met her. The hero is cautious now. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all. And if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. I have no choice. You destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She's frightened. You didn't understand why. Didn't she say she preferred this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. Take a step towards the maiden and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. Something sharp pierces your back. The hero? No, he's already... It's one of your enemies. The maiden screams. The servant tackles you, tearing you apart with her claws. You struggle to retaliate. They've done so much damage. You can barely move now. Your blood is everywhere. You can't believe this has happened to you. Why has this happened to you? You've been slain by your own underling. This one's like not disloyal. And we'll do it. We got all of her traits, so that's good. We're only missing the underling and these two. We'll do this one again. Cause I feel like I should just get back to work. And then yeah, we're doing the same thing, but okay, we're back here. She wanted to stay here with you. The hero was trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now on. Oh. That was a selfish thing to do. I don't know how this chart works. Nothing, just this. Okay. Nothing. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. And then just let him go. You'll certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You'll just have to trust in that, you decide. With the hero and maiden gone, you plop down into the comfort of your own luxurious overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. You must have fallen asleep when the maiden in here burst in your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. Good dreams. Wait. Okay. I think this is just the same one. How do I get this ending? How do I get this? I think this is right. Is it right? Get back to work! You're awakened by one of your underlings. They brought you a hero who inquires about a missing maiden. You tell him you don't really know anything. Humans never really visit this place. He believes you and goes home, but to your surprise, you figure he might try to fight you, but you're glad to just get back to your nap instead. Until you wake up to something completely unexpected. One of your underlings is tearing your throat out. You try to struggle, but you can tell you're already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You curse them, choking on your own blood. You die wondering what you could have done anything to prevent this. Okay, that's just the one where he kills him. Okay, these are actually really just sad. Like, passive, dutiful, passive, dutiful, heroic, martyr. All this is the one where she sacrifices herself, right? Passive. The main wait, I think I missed some context. Ah, yes. There was no one for the hero to save here. There was not any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why does it turn out to be like this? The main shouts something behind you. And you turn just in time to see her throw herself between you and the hero's blade. It pierces her chest. She falls to the floor, lifeless. As a pool of blood beneath her grows... What time is it? So does your rage. This hero has taken everyone from you now. You lose control, and the hero is obliterated. But your hatred for the humans is not satiated. You want to destroy them all and become the ruler of the entire world. Oh! I keep dropping things! Wait, no. Wait, he's always supposed to be heroic. This one, but she's not a martyr. Skip. Passive. Skip. Passive. Skip. You feel a sudden sharp pain through your back. You turn down to see a blade protruding from your chest. Oh, that was Carrie's whole view. So this is how you die, stabbed in the back by some cowardly hero? What a joke. You're supposed to be the ruthless one. That's right, humans can't be trusted. Not if this is what they're capable of. You should remember that before letting one in. You watch as the hero takes the maiden's hand, leading her through a sea of corpses he left behind in his wake. Captured by a demon, at least what she came here for. You join your army in eternal slumber. Just this one? Because we already got the other one. Like, the base story is... Yeah. It's just like the base story, you know? But no changes. Or I guess, whatever you want to call it. Flee. Oh, right. I never actually formally got this one from his perspective. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here. They stare you down, and you feel very uncomfortable. But they seem to trust you and escort you directly to the Overlord's chamber. That was easy. The Overlord and Maiden seem to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprising confusion. This is no time to hesitate. What's going on? The maiden explains that she has never actually been captured and came here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You asked her to return to town with you to reassure everyone of her safety. But the Overlord objects this. The maiden tries to tell her that she'll come right back, but the Overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous. As a hero, it's your job to mediate situations like this. You tell them, the Overlord, that if she doesn't let the two of you go, you'll have to assume she's evil, and you'll be forced to vanquish her. You leave me no choice. The Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping you. You are helpless as she disembowels you with her claws. How horrible. You came all this way only to be met with this cruel fate. You should have destroyed these evil creatures while you had the chance. Your dying wish is for the maiden to somehow make it out of this alive. She's not making it out of this, but she's probably alive. I think. So, passive, diplomatic, hungry. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. She Overlord says she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human to come here in forever. At least that she knows of. I think of how you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing she's a demon after all, but you can't really prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Useless. Wow, it's a good word, but it's a mean one. And then we get the true ending for this one. I think that's how do I get the true ending? Hold on. And then this is good. Wait, I forgot what I was supposed to do here. I think he's mostly passive. Wait, oopsies, I messed this up somehow. Oh, I forgot, I actually made him hungry. Whoopsies. Run. Chest. I forgot. Merciful. It's the most important thing, bro. Alright. Flee. Trust. Is she gonna kill it as retribution? It continues to cry and make excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. She's surprised, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? I guess it doesn't matter now. You'll all burn together. Oh, hero's true end. Oh, I don't like that line. It's like the gently open your door thing. You'll all burn together. Bro, no matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. That's what makes it true. No. You couldn't resist seeing for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what happened if you collect them all. I'm getting another orange. Where'd I put my orange? I lost my orange. I put it right here. Where the hell did my orange go? How do I lose my orange? Did I actually throw it out? Whatever, man. Will you give into despair, or a letter flutters down from beyond the curtain? You found lost in letter number 1. How do I look at the lost letters? How do I look at the letters? How do I look at the letters? Oh, my love. It just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to force us apart like this? It's unreasonable, cruel. I've had to find an outlet for this grief somehow. So I decided to write, and I'll keep writing. Until the day you'll find me once more, and then maybe we could write a story together. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. Oh! So we got everyone. So you have to get everyone's ending. Okay, we'll go for the maiden next. We need her true ending, so I think we'll just quickly snatch up the true ending. Since we have everyone here, you know. Maybe I'll just snatch up all the true endings right now, actually. Probably should have done that. We're being polite. I forgot what I was supposed to. Obedient. Resolute. The Overlord spares the underling. You feel relieved, but does it make any difference? Will you all burn together? Hers is a question. We gotta keep collecting, bro. We'll get the underling's bad ending too. We're just gonna play disloyal. We're not hungry right now, bro. We're still disloyal. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They take off to some castle. Are they headed to the Overlord's room? I'm not saying that word. The Overlord will kill you for sure if she finds out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash to the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars. Your friends soon arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you? They cry that it was all your idea, and that they were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse your crazy plan. You can't believe they told the Overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. You all shout at each other until the Overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear Traitor's friends muttering something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and 2 humans. And then the room bursts into flames. You pound at the door, screaming curses at those who betray you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish you'd get that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You're forced into this mess. Sure now that they would have killed you if you'd sided with her. To your surprise, the Overlord spares you. Or maybe she'd rather see you suffer instead. Looking around, you've gone from one dead end to another. The maiden is crying. The hero is silent. You all burn together. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I'm still in the maiden thing. Is this the... Oh, it's the possessive one. Okay. And then... Light. But the Overlord objects to the hero's suggestion. You tell her you plan to return soon, but she isn't having it. You feel nervous. The hero puts on a brave face for you. If you won't let her go, maybe all you demons are all evil, after all. And if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You leave me no choice. The Overlord suddenly jumps the hero. She tears into him with her claws. You want to cry out, but the screams catch in your throat. You watch, because you can't look away. Had she really been lying to you all along? You wonder if this is your punishment for questioning the divine plan. The Overlord approaches you. You back yourself into a corner. Her expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny, after all. She vows to keep you very safe from now on. You're afraid to find out what that means, but there's no one left to save you. You belong to the Overlord now. Lord now. Oh no. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 2. We have to read the next one. My love, I'd finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Yes, that's right. I opened my very own theater. You'd be so proud. If only you could see it. I know how much it would have meant to you to be my side on opening night. I'm sorry for going ahead without you, but I thought if my theater could become world famous, then maybe you might hear of it, wherever you are. Forever yours, Tragedy. What is this love story? Is like comedy and tragedy? Is it the love story? I literally forgotten everything. I think the other person is comedy or some like or I don't remember anything. I watched it so long ago. I have a lot to do for this. I've neglected this little guy. I've neglected him. Diplomatic, possessive. Okay. Okay, so this is like the same one. Diplomatic, possessive. Okay, yeah. You're a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not really. Oh, I'm reading it again. We are not hungry. Let's kill him. You sneak into the Overlord's room, but there's a couple of humans in there. You watch the whole scene unfold. You aren't sure why, but the Overlord suddenly cuts down the hero. She approaches the maiden you brought to her earlier. With the Overlord distracted, you figure this is as good a chance as any. You launch a sneak attack, getting her right in the back. She flinches, giving you enough time advantage to take her down. You rip apart the Overlord until she stops moving. That was messier than you would have liked. The maiden mutters something from the corner. Thank you for saving me. It wasn't your intention, but it sounds like you did something heroic. You tell the maiden to go home. This place is dangerous. She follows your advice and leaves the castle. Your castle. You are the new Overlord. Heroic underling ending. I wouldn't really call that heroic. Well, in the context of the situation, yes. Anyway, this one is a straight path. He does not have many paths. He just has to be disloyal. But the Overlord doesn't hear your pleas. She drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it quick. Alright. Okay, I think it just needs to be hungry and disloyal. Hungry. We go home. Still disloyal. Skip. You sneak into the Overlord's room. She's taking a nap, like usual. This is almost too easy. You silently approach your master. She looks so peaceful. Oh, this was the last trait. Coward. You don't want to kill her. You can't go through with it. You turn to leave the room, but you find your friends blocking the exit. In a panic whisper, you ask them to let you out. It seems a way of testing your loyalty. You tell them this is pretty and ask to be let out again. The Overlord stares in their bed while your head is turned. The demons shut the door. They scramble to the Overlord's closet to hide before she wakes up and sees you. There's nothing you could possibly say to explain this and survive. You're trembling. You can't believe those would bully you like this. You feel like crying. Lights flicker at your feet. It doesn't take long to realize they set the room on fire. You're the Overlord trying to get the door open to no avail. You're both trapped. Too afraid to move, you resign yourself to your fate. You and the Overlord burn together. Cowardly underwear. Why? A letter flutters down. Oh, yes, we get the next one. We get the next one. We're so close. My love. I've been feeling a little depressed lately. Many patrons have come to my theater, but none have stayed to experience every tale in its entirety. The critics haven't exactly been kind, but I understand my stories aren't exactly crowd pleasers. Despite that, you always listen to the very end. I'm very grateful for that. Hope to see you again. Forever yours, Tragedy. We still have one more. We have one more story. Which one's riding us home again? It's literally the same thing. It's the other side of this one. Tyrant. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed by flames? What is going on? You try to escape, but something's blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Something didn't want you getting out. Are you being usurped? They have zero foresight. What castle will they plan to rule if this one burns? You don't believe your enemies have betrayed you, but this is no accident. Those ungrateful choke on the thick black smoke from the fire. You don't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. I'll see them in hell. We got it all. We got all letters. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 4. We have the last one. We have this one. Do you remember when we first met? I had just finished one of my scripts. One I was quite proud of. In fact, As I read it aloud, you happened to pass by. What a terrible ending, you say. Why should these poor fools have to die? You were so rude, and you wouldn't accept any of my justifications, and yet you managed to convince me it really would be better if everyone would live in harmony, however unrealistic that felt. I look back fondly on that day. Even now, I wonder if somewhere you're thinking of it too. Forever yours, Tragedy. Oh. There was this thing here. It can't end like this. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. But retracing the paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep all of them from getting killed in the end? If there's nothing you can do by acting within their story, maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. Okay. You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. You didn't know you could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. Oh, it's a self-insert! You are you, but why are you pitch black? You feel like this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, the maiden, the underling, and the overlord have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. You guess that's because you're you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? Hi! You smiled awkwardly and introduced yourself. The maiden is the first to respond. My prayers have been answered. You must be her god? No, you're merely the player. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. That's usually how these role-playing games go. You now realize what the true ending must be. Now, enough of this. I admit I'd never been encouraging to you all along. But a self-insert story? How passé. I don't know. Watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way onto the stage, did you? I am the narrator, the storyteller, god of this world. Call me Tragedy if you'd like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many very bad endings, right? You're alone in the darkness with me, Tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time at my theater, though I cannot abide you stealing the show without permission. It's quite disrespectful. I'm sick of all these bad endings. I'm not really, but then frankly, you should never come to a place called Bad End Theater. Haven't we already been over this? You think defeating me might be the only way to see a better ending, and that's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you got. Time to fight God! Then the art here is really good. I thought I would say that. This art in the entire thing has been really, 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 really good. The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. Defend. You try closing your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Oh, is that all? You can never defeat me like that. Let me try it again! Attack! You try your best to tear me down, but you can't seem to do any damage. You don't truly exist in this world after all. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are. Behold, my beautiful tragic tales. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? You witness all 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be as much of a masochist as me. I commend your thoroughness. Surely these characters must have a special place in your heart. They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. That's right. You came here to save them. You can't do this alone. Summon! Summon! You find the hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. He likes sewing? Me too! Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? I explain that no, you're not a demon. How can you explain in a way that a hero will understand? Instead, you ask what he's selling. Oh, this? I craft all my own hero gear. He's a cosplayer! You could sense his pride in his hobby. You wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. You remember the state of your body and decide that yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He's overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so no one wants them. The true ending of the hero has suddenly been clear. You offer to change his fate. I could make a living as a tailor rather than a hero. Please, tell me what I have to do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. I agree to follow, but I didn't expect something like this. The hero's arrived. We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the only one who's been killing us, murderer. I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Which one is this? Oh! Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe. Willpower. The rate of terror and tragedy, I refuse to give in. The hero uses willpower to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. He has infinite HP. I don't know what to do with this. Summon! You happen to find the maiden as she has the cart. Her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing. She approaches you. I've already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. He explained that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are in a sense. You've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then perhaps you might be a demon? I was hoping I would meet one day. You think all this terrible fate... Think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She's the catalyst of the story, after all. My role as the maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, you see. But you see, I've grown so tired of waiting. You remember this part? She wanted to understand her role better, and so... Yes, what she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused by her question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt like she belonged. Returning for this maiden suddenly became clear. You offer to change her fate. Is there something I can do to find fulfillment? Then please, guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. This tragedy, such a terrible thing to behold. I remember it now, all those awful things he put us through. And this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Oh. Hope. Our true endings do exist, they simply must. The maiden's hopes with all her heart to overcome tragedy. The tragedy is reeling. 7. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underling is on guard duty as expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? You explain that no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding in their story right now. You tell them, the underling, that you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. The underling snickers. You ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life. I never got bossed around or picked on. You think of the underling's friends who had bullied them into an assassination plot only to betray them in the end. If they kept better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true ending for the underling suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. So there's a way that even work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. Underling will now fight alongside you. Wait, what the? You didn't say anything about boss battle. The underling, You must be desperate to call in such an unreliable ally. Huh? If I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over? Oh, but it won't be that easy. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Oh. That one had to have hurt. What's tenacity? I don't know, it sounds better than mischief. Knock me down, I'll just come back up stronger. Underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. We get the Overlord, my favorite. You enter the Overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained to the torches on the wall. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? You explain that no, you're not just here to serve her. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my others certainly think I should be more aggressive with the humans, like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetuating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. You can't help but think it's a little late in the game to getting some new backstory. I have no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone, to live in a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. Really, she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The training for the overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well, I will follow you. The overlord will not fight alongside you. I see. So this is tragedy. Ah, so you've brought the overlord. I don't stand a chance now. You prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die. Ha ha ha. I hope you prepare to face your deaths as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Which one? Oh. Haha. Now that your whole party is here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination of behaviors will open a path to your true ending? Show me. Being brutal is really not a good way to end. I'll reach my true ending with my own power, using her ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. This is it. With everyone's heart united, you can take your aim toward your best possible futures. You all unleash with one final attack to destroy tragedy for once and all. Ha ha ha. You've done it. You managed to defeat me. A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it. I must thank you for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Thank you, hero. Starring as himself. Starring as herself. Thank you, maiden. Starring as themselves. Oh! That's why it's always referred to as it. Okay. Thank you, Overlord. Starring as herself. Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die already. Don't worry, I'll be making my exit shortly. Written and produced by Tragedy. Directed by you! Finally, most of all, we couldn't have made it here without you. Yes, my bad ending, Theter, did contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it, I wonder? I'm satisfied. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind. But you've earned this one, so here's your true ending. Oh, we're watching all this. We're watching every single last. Oh my god, it's far too late in the day. I've been doing this for 2 hours, huh? It didn't feel like 2 hours. Oh, he had friends this time. Oh, and a hero and them are friends. Maybe they're gay. I mean, what? And then this is the. Oh, they're all happy. They're all friends. Everything goes happy and yay. This music's. I like this. They're so cute together. For all eternity. Hold on. I'm suffering. Oh, these are the letters. Wait, these are the letters that, yeah. That we found. Da, 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 da.
Wandering all alone, searching for my lost love, stumbled toward bed and theater, though it's late.
Can I get this on my playlist right now? How do I get this on my playlist? How does go? How do I get this on? Hold on. Do they have this on Amazon Music? Your true end? I was trying to get this on my playlist, so I may have missed a little bit, but it's fine. But something's missed. Something is missing. Lower. ... Oh, you're still here. Why is it always in caps? The curtain is closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. There is no more tragedies left for me to tell after all. There's one more. Me? You like to know why I started my theater? Because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. Remove the mask. You gently raise your fingers to the cracks in my mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart in your hands, revealing... I should have warned you. This might affect what you think of my stories. I can't help but comparing my face to the maidens. I'm not her, but it's not like she isn't me, necessarily. That's how it is with fiction. Would you like to hear another ending, but the truth? Alright, one last story. You may already know this, but it doesn't have a happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there are no such things as demons or even heroes, really. There was a girl eager to set out, fulfill some sort of destiny. That was part of it, true. She met someone. Another girl. A running theme, isn't it? The maiden and the overlord. The two were inseparable for a time. Everything was just wonderful. But their families, communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. That is the reality for many. This pair was no different. Despite their best efforts, this world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to like all the types of stories where love conquers all, where the strength of your love will pull you through any hardship, and everything is okay in the end. I lost her, and then I started this theater. But this story does have a happening. Huh? I was hoping to find you. It's you! It's been so long. I thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I was about to give up just because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I feel like such a fool. I could say the same to you. I knew you could never resist giving your stories a happy ending. So of course, I would be drawn to a place like this. Yes, but I didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out okay in the end. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love you. I love you too. It froze me! Now, truly, everyone can live happily ever after. Tragedies end. How do I hear them all? Bro, I'm just gonna listen to this. I'll be here listening to this for, like, an hour. So, signing off, I guess. Play this game and support it.